Well, first up tonight, we are joined by Australia's leading Trump enthusiast, United Australia Party Senator Ralph Babet. Ralph, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. Now, the reason I'm not in a suit and tie is because I'm celebrating today. I've got my cigar here. Tastes delicious. I haven't sparked it up yet, but I will. I'm celebrating the fact that Tenacious D has left the country. Goodbye, Tenacious D. Don't come back anytime soon. We don't want you here. Making jokes about someone being shot in the head is not freaking funny. But Ali, thank you so much.
Look, I promise that we'll come back and let you have a little rant about that in a second. I'm jealous of the Hawaiian shirt, but I must admit I do miss the MAGA hats in the background, Ralph. Look, you've been watching along with everybody else, I'm sure, what's been going on this week with Trump and the RNC going on. What are your thoughts about Trump's defiance in the wake of the assassination attempt?
Right. Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, President Trump, number 45, number 47. This man versus a bullet stands up to his feet, raises his fist and yells, "Fight." That's who Donald Trump is. Balls of steel. Balls of steel. Trump versus bullet, on his feet immediately. Biden versus stairs, straight to the floor. Right? Straight to the floor. Donald Trump is a hero. You can judge a man. You can judge a man by how he takes on adversity. He's been arrested. He's been indicted. They've charged him with bogus charges, which are going to get overthrown, obviously, on appeal. But we all know that the process was always the punishment. The media's run through his life. The police have run through his life. The whole the whole deep state establishment has tried to put him underground, literally, and he's still standing and he's still fighting. This is a man's man. Now, like I said, you can judge a man by how he takes on adversity. How many of us at home right now can genuinely say, if we came within a millimeter of death, of having our brain blown out on national TV live, would get up to their feet and yell, "Fight"? Or would we more likely be on the ground cowering in the fetal position? This man, he is unstoppable. My full support to President Trump. By the grace of God, he will be the president once more. Now, allow me to go on this rant. Hang on a second. People always ask me, why do you care what happens in the United States of America? Mate, are you living under a rock? Are you an idiot? Wherever America goes, Australia will follow. Whether you like it or not, the West will follow. They lead the Anglosphere. And in order to have a proud, successful, happy Australia, you need America to be all of those things as well. Now, people, these lefty nutjob maniacs, psychopaths, Trump is a dictator, Trump is a fascist, Trump is this and that. No, he's not. We've had a Trump presidency before. We had one in 2016. We know exactly what a Trump presidency looks like. We don't have to guess. And we know exactly what a Biden presidency looks like. We don't have to guess. Look what's happening in our own country. Look what's happening in America. It's a complete cluster F. That's what it is. It's a cluster F. We need this man back in power. Americans, you need to vote Donald Trump back in power in an overwhelming way. Australians, you should wish that Trump comes back to power, because I, for one, don't want to send any Australians overseas to go and die in a ditch in Europe, which is what's going to happen if Biden wins power.
Well, let's not forget that when President Trump stood up back to the crowd with the Secret Service crowding around him, he did not yet know at that time whether there was one shooter or 50 shooters. He didn't know if he was safe. What he did know is that what he did in that moment, what he did next, would define the next era of American politics. And boy, is it already happening. We've got the RNC, that is the Republican National Convention, in full swing at the moment. Now, I was watching when an unpleasant character popped up. You might remember him. Kevin Rudd has been grifting around the RNC. We've got a little tweet here from Kevin Rudd back in February of 2022. Now, Rudd says, and I quote, "Donald Trump is a traitor to the West. Murdoch was Trump's biggest backer, and Murdoch's Fox Television backs Putin too. What rancid treachery." Ralph, it seems this little has-been and former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, the small man looking for fame, he shouldn't be at the RNC, should he?
Mate, Kevin Rudd should not be anywhere near any levels of power whatsoever from now until the end of time. Kevin Rudd, he is the epitome of a grifter. Like you just said, this man has not been a fan of Donald J. Trump. He slammed the guy. As far as I'm concerned, as far as personally my opinion, he slandered the guy. And now he's smelling the winds of change. He's smelling, oh no, Trump's most likely going to become the 47th president once more. I better kiss his butt. That's what Kevin Rudd, the dud, is doing right now. Kevin Rudd is a dud. This man needs to be sacked immediately. You know what? The Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister Penny Wong, they need to preempt a Trump win right now. Get rid of that dud, Kevin Rudd. Send him packing. Send him back home so he can go get a mediocre job in some bureaucracy somewhere. This guy, as far as I'm personally concerned, is a freaking loser. That's what he is. He's a freaking loser. I'm sick of him. Donald Trump called him a bit of a nasty fellow or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And gosh darn it, Donald Trump was right. He has no future in America. Kevin Rudd, you have no future in America. Pack your bags, come home, do the right thing if that's possible for you to do, and get the hell out of there. Nobody wants you.
We talk about people being footnotes in history. I'm not even sure Kevin Rudd has made it to being a footnote. That's how little impact that he had. Maybe he's a humorous aside, but that's about it. Look, you mentioned Tenacious D earlier. That's Jack Black's band. Now, his bandmate made a controversial comment on stage, during his birthday thing. Have a quick watch for those who missed it.
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish, Canada. Don't miss Trump next time.
Now, of course, Tenacious D is not alone in making these sorts of comments. We've just had Andrew Lawton on my show yesterday, showing through all the different people in positions of power who've been wishing that the assassination was successful or lamenting the fact that it was not. Now, he's self-censored here. His band, Jack Black, has actually put up an Instagram post saying, look, I'm sorry. We're going to put our stuff on hold. We're going to leave the country. What do you make of all of this?
I make of all of this that the only reason that he put up his, in my opinion, phony apology, that's what it was. He only put it up because of the absolute torrent of backlash that he received. Had he not received that torrent of backlash, had I not got on the record early of saying this was garbage and he should have been deported, he would never have issued any sort of apology. He said he was an error in judgment or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Something along those lines. Oh, it was an error, a lapse in judgment. It was a mistake. Mate, telling your wife that her ass looks big in those jeans, that's a lapse in judgment. Putting the whites and the blacks in the washing machine together when you're doing a load of washing, that's a lapse in judgment. Calling for someone to be shot in the head and killed, that's not a lapse in judgment. That's the lack of humanity. That's what that is, a complete lack of humanity. It was an evil thing to say. It was a disgusting thing to say. And it was mere hours after the failed assassination attempt. But let's not forget, and they knew this at the time, that a man was killed in the crowd. A patriot was killed. A father, a husband, a firefighter. He had his head blown off. He had his brain on the floor. That's what happened. And these degenerates make a joke about it, or in my opinion, it wasn't a joke. They make a comment like that, absolutely filthy. 2 other people were in critical condition in hospital after that shooting. That's the kind of thing that they want to say on stage. And what's wrong with these people? These people aren't human. They're evil degenerates. Now, Jack Black and his band member, they are massive Biden supporters. They've been advocating for Biden for quite some time now. Jack Black, he actually came out, I think it was about a few weeks ago now, he came out at another event and he called Trump a tyrant and a dictator. And he said this, he said, democracy is at stake. How is democracy freaking at stake? Democracy is not at stake. It's the very opposite of being at stake. When you have the opportunity to go into a ballot box and vote for your preferred candidate, that is democracy, my friend, you degenerate fat bastard. Get the hell out of my country. Don't come back. Don't come back.
The one thing that worries me watching the events that unfolded was the response of the crowd. I mean, some of the crowd were off-put by the comment, but others in the crowd cheered. And the one thing that we can say about Jack Black's decision, whether he believes it or not, in making that statement, it is showing the fans of these movements that, you know, the comments are actually not acceptable, and that when push comes to shove, these things cannot be said on public stages without repercussions. So I will give them that benefit of the doubt. But look, go and enjoy your celebration. Enjoy where you are, and let us sit back and watch Trump make his speech. I think it's coming up very soon. It's probably already happened by the time this airs. So look, thank you so much for coming on today, and all the best to Trump, I guess.
Thank you so much, Ali. And unlike you, I am not so forgiving. He's not getting the benefit of any doubt from me. Those two meant what they said, and I don't want to see them back in Australia anytime soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.